So now that we've discussed what some aspects of wordiness and writing concisely are, how would you go about fixing it? So what are some tools that you could use in your own writing with regard to making sure that you're writing as concisely as possible? So if we take one of the earlier examples, it is absolutely the case that young people should be able to drink at 18 instead of 21. We can start out by asking what's the subject, because the subject needs to be in the sentence. We can't take that out. So that would probably be young people, discussing something about young people, what they should be able to do. So that's young people. So young people's going to stay. What is the action of the sentence? Well, I'm making a claim about something they should be allowed to do, something they should be permitted to do. So should be able to is going to stay. Whether that is the most effective verb phrase I could use is a different question, but I need a verb, so that's going to be my verb. So young people should be able to. Are there any wind-ups? So we discussed wind-ups at the start of the presentation. So something like it is absolutely the case that, or more simply, it is the case that young people should be able to. The fact that I'm making a declarative statement about something young people should be able to do implies that it is the case that this is so. So I can probably take out the stuff in blue. It is the case that, so I'm going to remove that. Are there any unnecessary prepositions? So things like on, during, of, for, prepositions. I don't think there are any here. We may have some examples later, but unnecessary prepositions is something that you want to look out for. Prepositions are really easy to add to sentences, and they can just as easily be taken out. So be careful with that. Are there any unnecessary to be verbs? So things that describe states of being. I think I already eliminated that with the phrase, it is the case that, it is the case that. I don't really need that is, because by making it, again, by making a declarative statement about something young people should be able to do, it is the case that is probably not necessary. Are there any redundant words? Absolutely might be a redundant word, because it's not really adding anything to my sentence. It's not really intensifying anything for me. It's not doing the thing it's supposed to do. So we'll take out the bit in green, absolutely. And active or passive voice. Sometimes if we use active or passive voice, that can make it so that we can use less words, or we can be more efficient with the words that we are using. I think the voice here is fine, so I'm not going to change that. But if you look at the end result, young people should be able to drink at 18 instead of 21. I have a declarative statement. It's clearly my opinion, even though I haven't stated in my opinion that, or it is my personal opinion that. It is clearly the case that this is true, or at least I'm trying to argue that this is the case that's true. But I don't need to put that in the paper. Again, this is kind of the process that you can go through, is to really question the role of each word in the sentence. Is what is it doing for the sentence? The phrase young people, what is that doing for the sentence? Well, it's giving it the subject, so that has to stay. You don't need to go through a very long, laborious process of, oh, do I need it or don't I? If you have a role for it in the sentence, feel free to leave it. We're not trying to make your sentences totally short. We're just trying to really force you to question including each of the words that you have in your sentence, as do you really need those in your sentence? And if you can't come up with a reason, or you can come up with a reason why they shouldn't be there, try deleting it and seeing how the sentence works without it. So we'll go over this one more time, but I'd like to give you an opportunity to try your hand at this. There's a sample sentence here, and I'd like you to read through it and ask yourself these questions again to see what words and phrases are absolutely necessary, what words and phrases actually have a role in the sentence, and which parts could you maybe take out or combine. Remember to try and be as economical as possible and only use the words and phrases that are absolutely necessary. So the sentence, students are able to lead really healthy lives by riding bicycles to work. Students are also able to get to and from work faster by means of riding bicycles to work. So if you'd like to pause the video and try your hand at this, I will go over the answer in just a second. So I hope you were able to give that a try. Let's go over the answer together and maybe a thought process of how we would go about deducing what to take in and what to leave out. So students are able to lead really healthy lives by riding bicycles to work. That's the first sentence. What's the subject? Students is highlighted in green because it's students who we're discussing. Maybe riding bicycles is something we also want to make sure stays in because that's kind of the point we're trying to make. What is the action of the sentence? We're discussing something they should be able to do. So that also needs to stay. Are able to, or can lead, or maybe students lead healthy lives, or they are able to lead healthy lives. There's a number of different ways we could do that. Are there any wind-ups? Not in the first sentence. In the second sentence, we have students are also able to get to and from work faster by means of riding bicycles to work. This bit about the by means of probably isn't totally necessary, so that might be able to be taken out. So if we just say students are also able to get to and from work faster by riding bicycles to work, that might just work fine. On any unnecessary prepositions, well, of might be one of those. Any unnecessary to be verbs describing states of being? Well, the fact that we've got two sentences here kind of gets into this. We might be able to combine these sentences together since they have the same subject, they have the same point, they have the same verb. So that might be something that we look into doing in a second. Any redundant words? Well, really is not really intensifying anything for us. Any active or passive voice changes that need to be made, these might be able to stay the same as well. So maybe a better version of the sentence could be, students lead healthier lives and travel to work more efficiently by riding bicycles. You could say students are able to lead healthier lives, but again, that may also be a bit redundant. So in this lesson we discussed writing concisely. 3 main points here. Make every word count in your sentences. Really question the role of every word in the sentence. Really ask yourself, what is the word doing for your writing? What is it helping you to say? If you can't come up with an answer easily, maybe try taking it out and seeing how the sentence works without it. And to be economical with space by combining multiple sentences and really only using the space that you need in your paper to make the claims that you're making, and then to move on as soon as you're done. All right, talk to you soon.